I think we should start now. So, welcome everyone for joining in today's session.
This conference will now be recorded.
My name is Mahima, and I'll be your host for this session. Before we go ahead, I would request everyone to go on mute, and if you have any queries or doubts during the session, you can unmute yourself or either drop it in the chat box. Also, I request you not to turn on your video cameras during the session. Okay, let me quickly take you through Tech Canvas first. Tech Canvas is an IT certification training organization for professionals where we help them to crack their certification exams in the first attempt. We are IIB endorsed and PMI authorized training partners. We also offer certifications in courses like CBAP, ECBA, CCBA, Agile, PMP, and more. You'll also find some domain trainings under our sessions, which includes finance, healthcare, banking, and more. Talking about today's session, it's quite helpful for those who are interested in Scrum Master certification. We have with us Bhuvneshwari, who is certified professional Scrum product owner with over 10 years of experience in the IT industry. I would request her to take this session ahead. Thank you everyone for joining in.
Thank you, Mahima. Can I take over?
Yes, Bhuvneshwari, you can.
Thank you. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Bhuvaneshwari, having 10 plus years of work experience as Mahima conveyed you in IT industry, mostly into healthcare domain. I work for diagnostics related medical devices from past 6 years. Previously, I worked for IBM with different domains like health insurance, banking, etc. I'm a certified PSM PSPO professional, having graduation completed in cloud computing with NASCOM. So today I'm representing Tech Canvas to share the learning process of Scrum Master certification. We'll quickly introduce. Since we are 15, like, shall we quickly introduce except Tech Canvas team? Just with the whether you are into Scrum process or not, and your years of experience quickly. I don't want the session to be dumb, so I'll be happy if people are interacting.
Hello. Hi, Bhuvaneshwari.
Okay.
My name is
Yeah.
Rohit Kamble. I'm working as a PA, and I have a 5 plus years of experience.
Okay. Thank you, Rohit. I think it will be difficult for people to choose whom to go next. So I'll call out the names by whatever I can see here. Abdullah. Okay, I think Abdullah is not interested to talk to us. Aro?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you please tell me your experience with Scrum and into which domain you're working?
So basically, I'm working on mainframe domain. So I just want to learn new stuff, and we already adapted with the Scrum methodology in our program.
Okay, I think you better put it in the chat box. It will be good instead of calling out names again. Please put it in the chat box so that I can quickly have a look. We'll take only 2 minutes. Just put it before that, before entering into the today's learning part. I'll just put you the template here. I hope everyone got the template, like what I want to know from the team. Since we are very less in number, I think we can quickly have it in 2 minutes. So this is one thing which we will learn as part of Scrum. Because Scrum is entirely a time boxed event, we should work within the given time frame. We should not take more time. I want all the answers to be provided within 8. Okay, one more minute. I think I'm going to be moving. I don't want to waste time. Today, our agenda is to learn what is Scrum, how the Scrum team will be, what is the roles and responsibilities, why you want to get Scrum Master certification, and types of certifications available in the current market with eligibility required, cost, and their exam procedures, ending up with Q&A. So, anybody have idea what is Scrum at least? Okay. Okay, I think I should also be like going through the content without any interaction. It's okay, fine. Agile, like today, before talking about Scrum, I'll just differentiate between Agile and Scrum. So, Agile is a project management process that utilizes core set of values and principles, and Scrum is specific Agile methodology that is used to facilitate a project. The Scrum methodology consists of an iterative procedure, meaning like it happens very frequently uh, as part of iterations. For like you can expect some 3 to 4 weeks of sprint every month, and again they'll start with a new work for the progress of the iterations, like to make a complete product. So someone mentioned that they are from banking domain. So why I asked you like from which domain you are in order to comply with your current working, so that if I can help what you're working to meet this project, it will be more interactive and interesting for you to learn this. So banking, let's take a small example of a banking signing page. Okay, so what Agile does, it will do it in a um, quite some time. It will take. It will not provide iterative inputs to the customers, where Scrum does every 3 4 weeks, implementing small chunks of work. So the team completes the project phases in iterations or sprints. Scrum is one of the most used approaches to agile development. The team makes the prioritized requirements and product features into the system. This is as per the informations, whatever we have learned so far in Agile and Scrum. So, in a nutshell, I want to tell like Scrum requires a Scrum Master to foster an environment where the product owner orders the work from a complex problem in form of a product backlog. Uh, I hope you are able to see my PPT.
Yes, it is visible.
So this is the entire Scrum framework. Yeah, thank you. So this is the Scrum framework where the information of the requirements from the customers is put into the product backlog. Like we take an example of banking fee application, the basic example where everyone can encounter in a day is logging in into the page. So I, as a customer, want a login page which has the user ID, password, and with restricted user ID and some strong password which I can protect my bank information from. So I, as a customer, approach the product owner or the product owner approaches me in order to get the information. The all list of information will be put it into the product backlog. Then coming to the team, who will work on this? Now I have two people, product owner and the key stakeholders who are the customers. We need someone to work on this in order to implement and create a deliverable output out of it. So it is the Scrum team, which comprises of three roles: Scrum Master, Product Owner, and developers. So the Scrum team will form a meeting, which is called the sprint planning meeting, which is a time boxed event of 8 hours for a 1 month sprint, and it works accordingly because across the organization they have different strategies. Few teams have 2 week sprint, few teams have 4, but ideally it will be 3 to 4 weeks iteration to be generated to continually develop a product or increment. So in the sprint planning meeting, what will happen? In the sprint planning meeting, they will set a goal which is called the sprint goal. The Scrum team will decide what will be delivered as part of increment in this sprint, in this current sprint. Considering the previous estimates, like what they have delivered earlier, the understanding what kind of work and what amount of work they can deliver within the committed sprint. Also considering the priority in the backlog, what the product owner and the customers want it to be delivered as part of the current sprint. So that work and will be considered, and there is no forcing criteria like management stories like you have to do this within this time, you have to complete this within this time frame. Nothing like that. Here the developers have the sole responsibility of the sprint backlog. They decide what kind of work they can do, and they understand like if this can be really delivered with quality without any trouble, without any technical depths. So they decide what will be done, and that will put into the sprint backlog where the amount will be divided into chunks. Like if you see, you may think, okay, people here are aware that what to do so that they can take what amount of work they can be doing in this current sprint. Think about a new team. They don't have any idea what to do. They got a new project and they have a quite new product backlog. How the team works. So everyone in the team must be aware of the Scrum process, and they should be knowing they're self-organized people. They should be doing within themselves without seeking help from the other people. The developers in the set of the Scrum team are coached by the Scrum product, by the Scrum Master to be self-organized. And the Scrum Master will help in removing the impediments what the developers face. So they initially, whatever they are clear of, like what work can be done, they will take that kind of work and they'll put it into the sprint backlog. This is in the case of new sprint. So the developers think how many people can be there as part of developers. It is not more than 9. Just to avoid, you can think, okay, I have a big project. I want to take 100 developers to make the work fast. Scrum is not like that. We have, if you have that kind of big project, it will compress into multiple Scrum teams and they work on different units and finally they will collaborate the work together. So The developers will be having daily Scrum meetings, which is time boxed again for 15 minutes. They are not supposed to exceed. In case they want to exceed, they can just come up with the impediments and discuss over there. They have to be trained in such a way it should be completed within 15 minutes. Later, whatever need to be discussed, they can prolong in separate sessions, and they can discuss personally without wasting other people's time. So the value delivered will be uh, given in the form of increment, whatever the code for that login page, whatever the implementation has completed from the developers, that is as far part of the increment. So this increment, when they realize that can be delivered with the with the current whatever previously page was there, including the features not disturbed, the current product also merged with that, and that will be considered as the proper increment. So the increment will be taken for the sprint review meeting, which is one of the event like sprint planning, daily scrum. This is again time boxed for a 1 month sprint. It is 4 hours. In the sprint review meeting, they inspect the current increment, like what all changes of the product. Once they in the sprint review meeting, they will check the product for the suppose the login page. They will evaluate whatever the developers has developed is meeting the criteria of the customers, and then follows the sprint retrospective meeting where they evaluate the process. Suppose if you see in the team, you may have different scenarios, like one person is not available who is supposed to complete that. To avoid all these things, Scrum is organized in a way to be cross-functional, like everyone in the team should be aware and they should be capable of doing everything. In such way, the team has to adapt themselves to make the value as a delivered increment. In the sprint retrospective meeting, they discuss about whatever the process went well or not, what has to be corrected, how again they have to bounce back in order to make it efficient. They decide there, and then they follow up again. It goes back to the sprint, whatever the outcome. Suppose they found something new to be implemented in the part of sprint review, something like the key stakeholders come back and say like, oh, okay, yeah, fine, we are happy with the login page, whatever you have created, but the font can be changed. Again, that will be created as a new product backlog item, which will fall into the product backlog list. The sprint review is the place where we take the valuable feedback from the key stakeholders for the delivered product, and that again falls into the product backlog as a new work for us to repeat the same thing. So in a nutshell, the Scrum requires a Scrum Master to foster the environment where the product owner orders the work for a complex problem into a product backlog. The Scrum team turns a selection of the work into an increment of value during the sprint, and the Scrum team and its stakeholders inspect the results and adjust for the next sprint. So the same thing repeats, keep on repeating again and again. Coming to the roles and responsibilities of the product owner, Scrum Master, Scrum team, and the customer. But today, since we are mostly talking into the Scrum Master related things, I just want to talk about Scrum Master. Okay, few people may have doubt like what makes difference from a project manager to the Scrum Master. A Scrum Master follows an entirely different process. Like he is like an acting coach. He is a coach. They neither drive nor manage their teams, but instead help them to be the most successful version of themselves. They assist. They are the servant leaders. They help in any way possible for the development or the Scrum team to be more effective. In addition, he or she is also responsible for ensuring that the team understands the principles of Scrum framework. To sum it up, Scrum Master leads through influence, not authority. The opposite can be said for the project manager. Understanding this difference is the key. If you try to take on a role of the Scrum Master with the mentality of a project manager, it will never work. Like you're setting yourself up for a failure before you even begin it. The fundamental difference between Scrum Master and a project manager is in their focus. See, if you see, the project managers are always focused towards the project outcome, budget, timeline, resources, communication between the teams, where the project manager focus on the project. But it is not like the case for the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master focuses on the team, taking steps to ensure the team and individual team members achieve success. Okay, if I am a project manager, my focus is on schedules, deadlines, scope, and budget. I'm in charge of changing the resources. Like if I find some budget deficiency or something in one project, I'll try to pull the people into the other meetings or other projects and see how to make the work feasible. But it is not the case for the Scrum Master. He's focused on the team, spending time to think on the ways to help them to improve and to look out for interpersonal conflicts within the team. It is quite common. We all are working in IT industry, and we know like it is not a smooth way to run through the project. Sometimes conflicts may occur, and we should be able to help within ourselves to avoid to not to disturb the project work. So so that we can avoid the miscommunication between the teams. It is like I'm in a like it is a purposeful search of ways to help us to get better. So key difference between the project manager and the Scrum Master is shifting the role. Like the project manager focus on the output, the Scrum Master focus on the outcomes. A Scrum team wants to deliver the most value each sprint. Knowing this isn't always the same as the most volume, the Scrum Master helps the team make biggest impact in lives of their customers regardless of the volume. A Scrum Master would prefer to make a bigger impact with less volume, meaning the development team is always lesser in the Scrum team to avoid conflicts and confusions, to tackle other areas where a project manager can handle many things. The key roles and responsibilities of Scrum Master is leading the daily, facilitating. I won't call it leading. I'll call it facilitating the daily stand-up meetings, reviews and demos, and other project-related meetings. He should be in a way to support the team members in their task. You can ask like how a Scrum Master can be supporting the team members. See, let's take an example on building the login page, whatever we were discussing earlier. So whatever data is created as part of sign up or registering will be storing in a database where we have to retrieve the information of the people. So the developers can design it, whereas the DB admin or some other person should be able to manage the data over the database. So what can happen if that person is not available for some reason or having conflict with the team? So he is not in sync with the team's requirements. So here the picture of Scrum Master falls into the place. He will be able to help the DB or the developers in order to sync and make the work forward. So it is kind of conflict resolving and coaching the team in order to be self-organized. See, in a Scrum team, one developer cannot come and say like, I will do only development, I am not going to do testing. They are coached in such a way they should be able to do what all requirements needs for an increment to be built. So this is how the Scrum works, and it is not like typical some other previous old models like waterfall, etc. and all. SDLC and all. Here, what happens is whatever mistake we make, we can find it in the earlier stages and we can correct it in the immediate deliverable. So here, as you see, the roles and responsibilities of the Scrum Master. He'll be coaching the team on the Scrum principles and best practices, facilitating open discussion. And if you see the difference between Scrum and typical normal projects, like they will hesitate to speak up in front of managers saying like, what may happen to me? Like if I speak out this, you're not supposed to be like that as part of Scrum. You are like, how I can put it? Yeah. You are open to put your thoughts in the forum. Like if you see whatever thought you have, you are independent to speak out your voice and say like, this is what there is no one going to be like telling like you're not supposed to do like this and all. It is as a Scrum team should be able to listen to you and adapt if it is really required for the project, and if it is considered to be a no, and it can be made in a good way to understand you like this is not going to work like this. So this is how they proactively identify and resolve the issues, updating activities in the project management tracking tools. Okay, now why you want to do Scrum Master certification? You might today in this session, you might have many questions like why the certification? Is it really required to do this certification? Or what can I do with this certificate? Or can anyone become Scrum Master? Someone pinged me in the chat box saying I'm a fresher. Okay, they may think, can I become a Scrum Master? The answer is like, as a fresher, you will have to at least involve in one of the works of the Scrum team as part, at least for 1 year. Or if you have a certificate, it will really be a plus for you to showcase that you are capable of doing this Scrum Master job. I'll tell you why the Scrum Master certification. This is a credential that recognizes your competency in the Scrum project management principles. It can qualify candidates to become Scrum Master, a type of project manager that uses Scrum to complete the projects. See, you're a fresher coming to me and asking, can I become a Scrum Master? Yes, why not? If you are really good at Scrum and you are good at Scrum handling and all, why don't I give you a chance to do it? And one thing to keep in your mind, like it all comes with the experience as well. Like a fresher all of a sudden cannot come and unless until you cannot say like it is only in the organization. You may consider your college also. You may be an active person who are really good at communication. You work other people to help you to do their works proactively, and you may be a like kind of monitor who helps and coaches people. Yeah, if you have the qualities within yourself, definitely with this credential can help you people trust that yeah, you are capable of doing this. Why not give a chance? So there is a possibility. Again, it all depends within your organizations. So one more thing is like, can anyone become Scrum Master? The good news is you don't need a specific background to become a Scrum Master. People having the skill set of Scrum Master can come from any field. And the not so good news is it's hard and it takes years of skillful practice to become an efficient Scrum Master. See, if you want to be a Scrum Master, what the organization looks is like, yeah, am I having an efficient Scrum Master in my team? How do you prove that? So that is what makes you difference between everyone. And if you ask me, Scrum certification is mandatory. Again, it depends on your organization. If they are believing and trusting you that you are capable of doing it, then this is kind of certificate which makes you enable to prove to the organization that you are well and good enough. So, is it necessary? If you ask me, the Scrum Master certification is important for anyone who plans to work in that role, no matter which industry. So that's what. Again, I can't imagine a serious company putting someone in a Scrum Master position without their certificate. Okay, what you can do with your Scrum Master certificate? I have not mentioned fresher here, considering most of the people who are having experience comes into this. But yeah, you if you are really interested, you can put a word to your organization, showcasing your skills, saying like I'll be able to do this. Slowly start taking one job of coaching the team. If you ask me, when I were in my project, all the people in my team are super seniors whom I can't reach their level so soon. So myself, I started taking extra work to showcase that I can be an efficient Scrum Master, taking slowly like coaching the team, working with different teams to get the team organized. I worked with the product owner, I worked with the customers, I spoke to the stakeholders, I helped the product owner, and I helped the development team. I worked with the organization with respect to the project. So slowly it is not a super fast job like, yeah, I did my certificate, see this, I get me a role, I'm ready for this. You will have to slowly make the team understand, and let the team realize that you can really do this work. So this is how actually the role or whatever you receive will work. You should be able to showcase that the skills whatever you have. The main key skill is the communication skills. Like, you should be able to be in a position to handle any situation. So these are the roles across the industry. What I have put here: can become a Scrum Master. So if you see, you can think like, I'm a customer support lead, can I become a Scrum Master? Or like, I'm a business analyst, can I be a Scrum Master? Someone from the team pinged that they are a business analyst, and they are interested in learning Scrum values. So yeah, definitely you can do this. And people from developer background, product manager or project manager, QA lead, testing. If you ask me, I'm from verification domain. I validate the medical products. So I were interested because we effectively keep working on this. I like other typical service-based companies, we will be not loaded with more work. If you ask, you will. It is not like service based or product based. It is like the mindset whatever you have within yourself. If you wish to learn, you can progress really, and it is all within your mindset. Not like because of this I were not able to do it, because of, it's just a mindset swap. Whatever you want to do it, you have to put your effort, you keep trying, you will receive it. That's what. So okay, how I can become an effective Scrum Master? You will have to see this checklist. One thing what I observed, no one are willing to communicate it in the group. So if you want to be a Scrum Master, definitely you have to communicate, right? So that part we have to take care, and it's a technical or non-technical role. So if you ask me, a Scrum Master need not be a technical person, and that is what I have learned so far. You can say like, I'm from quietly a non-technical role and I want to be a Scrum Master. Yes, you are really welcome to be a Scrum Master if you are having the following checklist. Whether you are good at influencing people, you want to understand why you want to influence people. If you want to really resolve the conflicts, then you will definitely have that quality to influence people, and you are passionate to delight customers. See, it won't always work with hard words or something. You should be good enough for the people to approach you, and that makes you one of the good quality to become a scrum master. If you are some grumpy person and like you can't people are not willing to come to you, definitely it won't work like that. You should be in a way like approachable, so that the customers can be open. A few customers may have, if you ask me, okay, I'll put one example. Since we from starting we are talking about one example, that the login page. Few customers will come like, I want right side, the user credentials and the password, and the next day they come back saying, I want it in the left side, or I want it in the middle. They themselves don't know what they want. In that case, you should be very good to them to realize, make them realize and understand, like, this is how it all can be done, what is actually required from your side, like, so that we should keep the count of the value of the developers. It is not simply, or it is not a good way to keep going back and forth to create a deliverable. In order to avoid all those things, a good communication skills or good rapport with the customers, key stakeholders and the team is very important to avoid such conflicts and confusions. Are you driven by the motive of serving your team? This is not something new, or like something, it should be within yourself. If you are really considering the fresher, if you are really good at motivating someone in your college or school, definitely that is some inbuilt quality within you to be an effective scrum master. And do you have relevant domain experience, or like you need not have specific domain experience in order to become, you may be a banking professional, or you may be a healthcare admin or something, or you may work for some industries of insurance or whatever. There are a number of domains in the industry. Be it anything, it should be within yourself, to be aware of your domain, because domain knowledge is required to communicate with the product owner and customers. You yourself having all good qualities and you don't have any knowledge within the domain, definitely it is not going to work like that. So you will have to spend some time with the team to understand the domain, because it is not something a nightmare or something you can learn within no time. Whatever the knowledge, now we have a number of resources to learn what there are many training channels where you can learn what domain and what are the insights. Suppose if you take healthcare industry, there will be n number of projects and a number of products. If you want to know about one specific product, you will have to expertise or learn in order to be answering. And if I'll tell you how this helps you, like if you go to the customer and say like, yeah, uh, oh, is it login page? I don't know what is login page. Let me go come back and check in the Google. It won't work like that, right? You should be aware, like, okay, I'm working for a website. It requires a login page, and this is how a login page looks like. If yourself is not aware, like what is the thing you're going to work on, definitely it will not work like that. So you should have the basic criteria of the domain knowledge in order to make the work efficient, or like to produce a quality product. It is really a good thing to have the domain knowledge. And last and not the least one, you should understand the scrum well. You being into a scrum project, and if you work like a project manager, it will not work like that, and it will be a failure of the scrum. So if you are really good at all these things, yeah, then definitely in the future few years you will be an effective scrum master. Okay, what are the scrum certifications available in the current market? And let me go walk through. It is the certified Scrum Master from the scrumalliance.org and professional Scrum Master from the scrum.org and Safe Scrum Master certification. This certified Scrum Master certification is offered from the Scrum Alliance, validates like the knowledge of being a Scrum Master. It's not recommended for current and aspiring Scrum team leaders across the industry or anybody who expects to work on cross-functional teams to solve complex problems. What I feel is it is a bit costly compared to the other Scrum certifications, and what I feel as difficulty in this is you will have to renew the certificate every 2 years. The cost will be around some $450 to $1,000, including the exam, and the training is mandatory of 14 hours to pass the exam at the end. If you see the Scrum Alliance path, you can see like people in the group may be from different groups like developers, testers, product managers, or business analysts, Scrum Masters, team leads. Okay, let's forget about the bottom part. We'll see this top path: Certified Scrum Master, Advanced Certified Scrum Master. This is elevated, and finally you'll become a Scrum Coach or the Scrum Certified Enterprise Coach for Scrum Master. So this is the Scrum Alliance path. What I find difficulty in doing this is like it is a bit, that's what the cost thing also you will consider. If your organization is rich enough and they are ready to sponsor you and you are rich enough and you want to spend so much and do the certification, yeah, you can go ahead and do this. It is, the exam is kind of moderate. It is not that difficult to crack this exam as I feel, and that is an open book exam. Am I audible?
I think you're not sharing your screen.
Yes, you are audible, but you know the screen previously you were sharing, it's gone.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome.
I'll share it. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what I found some difficulty. Like I was seeing something abnormal here. So that is what I feel about this certified Scrum Master. Since it is costly, I don't prefer doing that. But if you are really willing to do that, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. And if you ask about the professional Scrum Master certification through scrum.org, it is like it validates your understanding of the Scrum framework as well as how to apply it. PSM 1 is the first level of Scrum certification offered by scrum.org. You can take on, you can like go on further for PSM 2, PSM 3 also. Where the cost of the exam is around $150, like around some thing in INR. Like you'll need to pass the exam, but the one difficult thing is like little difficult to pass the exam if you are not really dedicatedly learning it. But if you really go through it and you are well in managing your time, it's quite easy to do that. So it's all within you again, like you, whether you want to, but this doesn't require any mandatory training to complete this certification. You can directly take the exam. But the thing is, like, myself, in my first attempt, I failed it. Like, I were not able to get it, since I were not able to cope up with the time when I did it. The key thing here is time management. Though you know all the answers, you will not be able to fit within the time frame. You will be having less time, 1 hour, I mean 60 minutes to complete 80 um, questions, which comprises multiple choice, everything. So that will have all the information. And coming to the safe certification again. So here are the badges. If you see the PSM 1, 2, 3 and all, it is like one is the intermediate, I mean initial level, followed with that. One second. PSM 1 is like the evidence that you have demonstrated a fundamental level of Scrum Mastery. As a PSM 1 holder, you have proven that you understand Scrum as described in the Scrum Guide and how to apply Scrum in Scrum teams. They have the consistent terminology and approach to Scrum. Where you see the other level of PSM2, it is like if you have completed, or if you are going to do that, the accountabilities of the Scrum Master comprises understanding the underlying principles of the Scrum and can effectively apply Scrum in complex and real world situations. And PSM3 is difficult, as it all keeps in my mindset. Like, if you ask me, it is difficult for me. Maybe it is like the certificate holders should have the deep understanding of application and practices of Scrum and Scrum values in a variety of complex team and organizational situations. So it is like you will have to go step by step forward. And the beauty of Scrum is the Scrum Guide. Like, if you are good at the Scrum Guide, you will be able to crack the exam. It is all within yourself. So again, the safe Scrum Master certificate. This is again, if you were in the organizations like Agile, Lean or DevOps concepts, and it is practiced at large scale, then you may need this. Like, it is not you may need this. It is good to have this if it is required. And the course fees is again little more like this will require a mandatory course to pass the exam. So last but not least, if you can see here, these are the differences between CSM and PSM. Why I mentioned only CSM and PSM is like, most of the people who wanted to be as part of Scrum journey or Scrum Master certification will be in an initial confusion to take what, should I take CSM or should I take PSM? So these are the key differences, what I identified as part of CSM and PSM. So the organization is Scrum Alliance, and PSM is organized by scrum.org, and this is created on 2001 and this is created on 2009. Here the minimum passing percentage is 74% and PSM is 85%. The first time when I like, when you take the credentials of the exam, you'll be given a link which will be valid once. Since I have taken through this training, I were given 2 options, but if you do this without training, you will be given only 1 option to attempt the exam. So the first time, since I just got 83, I believe 83%, and I were not able to clear this exam because of that. But later, it is because of the time I were not able to manage. The key role to understand to crack this exam is the time. You should be able to enter the answers within a fraction of time, and you should be moving forward. You will not have time to realize like whether you have given the correct answer or not. So then, since I have training, I have taken another opportunity and cleared with 96%. And yeah, beauty of this certification is like it is a lifetime validated certificate. You don't need to renew it every now and then. So this exam pattern is like multiple questions, and here it will be multiple choice questions, multiple answer questions, and true and false questions. So the exam will be for 1 hour. Here only we will have 50 questions in CSM, but in PSM we have 80 questions. And yeah, again, if you see the brilliant decision, what I will choose to take is PSM certificate, because you don't need to spend dollars to or some thousands to keep renewing your certificate. And if you complete your certificate and within 2 years you were not able to do anything, and later you realize your certificate is expired and you got an opportunity, you will not be having an opportunity to prove that you are certified again. So the wise decision what we can make is to choose PSM only. I go with PSM. It will require good amount of effort, but you will never regret doing the certification. You will have, if you ask me, in the current market you have multiple opportunities to become a Scrum Master or product owner. The good thing is like many organizations are following this, and if you are really willing to progress in your career, this is a wise decision. You can make it. The certificate validation, again, it is for lifetime and with less amount. And the last thing is like you need time investment. So I think we are good. So any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so typically the person who does not have any background in computer, novice person, and what should be like, the ideal strategy to pursue this Scrum Master
Okay,
opportunity?
can you please elaborate this? Like, typically, person who is not into computer field, what kind of person he is? I want to understand
I'm
that.
talking about myself. I have the like banking experience, like more than 10 years, but not recent. In 90s.
Banking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Then why do you consider yourself as you worked with banking? why you are putting yourself back? The first thing, you should never put you back. Okay. So you worked with bank, right?
Yes.
So if you really have an opportunity to do so, you can get the certificate done and you can prove yourself. But the thing is, you need to find an opportunity with any organization who is ready to help you to do that. Okay. Do you have any opportunity to do like that? Like any friends who can refer you?
Currently, I'm not in India. I'm in Canada.
Oh, you're from Canada.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm from Canada.
Why not? You can definitely see. You may have any friends who are working, right?
Yeah.
So you can definitely give a try.
Okay, ideally, like it works like through the referral. Like if I get the qualified, and
that's what, to qualify, what makes you credential to prove the team that you are capable enough to be a Scrum Master.
Right, but again, like I need someone who can help me landing in that field, or like I can try at my own, and let's say if I try 10 place, 15 place, 20 place, and
so you have the answer. So you have the answer that you're capable of doing that, and it all requires your effort to put it into. See, it's not too late to do anything. If you are really good at doing something, definitely give it a try. You keep getting it one day. So you have already received something to put it into your mind that you want to do as a Scrum Master certificate, or you want to do some other certificate also, whatever, product owner or business analyst or anything. It is all within you. You decide what you want to become. Try to gain the knowledge on which makes the people believe that you are capable of doing it. So definitely you can do it.
Yes. So
I hope this answers your question.
yeah, but my puzzle is like I'm also attending the webinar for the business analyst. I attended that, and I
Mhm.
was just curious to know about the Scrum Master, and I attended this one. This looks interesting also. So,
Okay.
uh, so like effort wise, like how, of course it requires good efforts, but like what are the contents like the of this the syllabus, like more
That's what
technical,
you'll have to
administrative?
undergo training of Scrum Master certification. Like the course can help you to do this. This is not one shot work, right? You cannot
Right,
learn within one video or something. So
right.
you will have to go. The Tech Canvas is sponsoring courses for Scrum Master, product owner, and all.
Mm-hmm.
So any course outside, like you will have to learn that, understand the values, technical or non-technical value, whatever thing. But you definitely not you need to be a technical person to be a Scrum Master. So your banking domain also will help you. If you ask me, in my organization there is a person as a product owner. You and who to make them trust you'll need a you'll have to learn, and the course will help you
Mm-hmm.
progress.
This conference will now be recorded.
I have first posted one question.
Okay, sorry I missed it.
That's fine. So
uh,
there is something called as Scrum C. Some C.
Scrum study.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how that is differ from PSM, and is that gives any value or?
Yeah, definitely. Because if initially for few years before I were thinking in your perception, which is best for me, Scrum Alliance, Scrum Study, or whatever, Scrum PSM or something. What made me interest is people let it take little bit effort also. I want a lifelong validated certificate which makes people prove that I am a professional at Scrum certification. And it should take my effort, not the I should it should not benefit in putting more dollars into other organization product. So I chose PSM 1 or scrum.org, considering the cost, benefit of the validity of the certificate, and the knowledge provided is really very valuable. So this made me choose that. Yeah, you have many things. That's what I was telling you, right? That CSM from scrumalliance.org and Scrum Study. These are multiple things which do the same thing, but if you ask me, in my opinion, and most choose, if I try to apply for some other roles in organizations, this is the most wanted certificate across the industry. Did it answer your question?
Yes. And the concept wise, everything is same, right?
Yeah, concept wise is everything is same. See, if you ask
Right.
me, few people they will call product manager, few people will call project manager. It all varies with the companies. It is all within the organization what they want to call, right? But
Fine then.
the manager work is same. Who will do across the organizations? It's all like that.
And with regards to PSM, right? So the $150 mentioned about the exam fees, is that only
Hmm.
for PSM one or all
It
three?
is only for PSM.
Okay.
Hmm.
So with regards to the role, Scrum Master role, so any
Hmm.
certification would suffice, or with only PSM one, can we get a chance to work as a Scrum
Any
Master?
certifications, meaning like if you do a product owner certificate and go and ask for a Scrum Master role, do you think it is validated?
No, specifically this Scrum Master role. So there are. So do we need to complete all three certifications in order to
Not
get Scrum
required.
Master role?
Not required.
Okay.
But if you really want to be a lifetime goal, I mean, like a Scrum coach or a certified Scrum coach across the globe, then that is needed. You, like if you desperately want to be a Scrum coach, you want to complete all the three, and that's what I have mentioned you, right? It is like one beginner level, expert level, and coach guide level. That is what makes the difference between the three certificates. It is not mandatory to have all the three. And the thing is, to do PSM2, you need PSM1 to be completed. So that is why we have all these three levels.
Fine then. And in order to get product owner level, different certifications will be there, right?
Yeah, we have PSPO certificate for that again. It will look more or less similar to PSM. If you are having the knowledge of Scrum, you are definitely a capable person to be a product owner as well. What all it changes is the strategies the product owner uses and the roles and responsibilities of the product owner, how he deals with the stakeholders, key stakeholders, and what type of methods he follows to manage efficient product backlog. These are the key differences. The main thing is Scrum is same across product owner and Scrum Master, but their roles and responsibilities and their strategies of work, that will differ. Nothing much will differ. If you have gone through PSM training, with little effort you will be able to clear PSPO training exam as well. It is like interlinked.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So any other questions?
Yeah, hi, Bhuvan. Lekha here.
Hi, Lekha.
Hi. I just thank you for the wonderful session. I just posted the question over there. I don't know whether this question was already answered, but I might have missed that. So just to get the clarification, whether we mentioned about the CSM and PSM and the differences. So
Yes.
when it comes to resume and which has got more weightage, is it something like that? CSM has got more weightage than PSM, something like that, or the same?
Not, yeah, definitely. That is also there something. If you ask, that's what doing BTech in one or normal rural or organization and urban organization, something like that. Definitely, there will be a difference what people sees from the organization. What I understand is PSM is the most chosen certificate across the organizations because of its that's what I told you, right? You will have to put more effort in order to clear that. See, the minimum pass percentage for any exam is 35 or 50%. If you see the PSM exam requires 85%, then the person who is really sound or having knowledge within the Scrum only can clear that. So obviously it is proven that, and you'll be able to handle the Scrum. That is how things work, right?
Okay, so that means PSM has got more weightage.
Yes.
Okay, so it's so there we have to mention whether it is PSM 1, 2, or 3, whatever certificate we have.
Yeah, people desperately ask. If you see some product based companies, they will look like PSM certified, like ISTQB certified, PSM certified, PSM1 certified, something like that. I rarely saw CSM being asked by the people from different organizations while applying for job.
Okay, so it's applicable. The PSM is having more weightage even when it comes to service level companies too.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Bhuvanesh.
Thank you, Lekha. So any questions?
Yeah, again, I have one more question. I missed the part like the when you were explaining CSM, PSM. What is a CSM?
Certified Scrum Master certification. That is from scrumalliance.org, and PSM is from scrum.org. Certified Scrum Master certificate is costly, and you have less validity, though it is an open book exam. Professional Scrum Master certificate really requires your knowledge with less amount and more time you have to spend for this and more value to it.
I see. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
The duration, like normally, ideally, let's say if I consider and if I put effort, like how long it takes? 6 months, 3 months?
Mm, that's entirely your decision, right? Like of the effort you put. If you want to do it early, you will have to put more effort to get it done. And see, it is not like the specific duration, it's all within you. If you want to do it soon, you can do it. If you want to take aram say more time and do it, you can do for 1 or 2 years also. It's all within you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
But like normally, average, the person who takes how long when they finish, like ideally. Of course, it differs
Ideally,
person to person,
yeah,
but
it depends. Yeah, we cannot judge. I took 2 weeks to
I
complete it.
see. Okay, so that way I can judge myself, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't want. It's all like within us. If we want to do it, we can do it. That's all. I.
Right.
That is what the truth is. I believe.
Okay. I thank you very much again. Yeah, thank you.
So, if we have any other questions, we can do it, or else we can conclude this session today. Um. Thank you for everyone for joining this session.
Um, okay, so thanks Bhuvneshwari for this insightful session. Tech Canvas is starting its first batch of professional Scrum Master certification from 1st of October. We are offering an early bird offer of 10% off. For more details, you can visit our website or drop a mail at info@techcanvas.org. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.